You all must have heard I'm a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a fly one. Oh yeah, I'm a fly one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel dialed, 'cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a fly one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel dialed, 'cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child.
Sorry, I played the last clip only because, yes, I'm in Mexico today. Still streaming from the car because that way I can smoke. All right. So, yeah, this has been a really fucked up week for me and my family because of the big orange idiot. And yes, I want to have people be able to see me on this one. That's why the camera's on. Because basically, we were worried because of one of my daughters, and of course the dog is fucking barking.
Of course.
Because basically, with the way he did a bunch of his whole executive orders, one of my daughters temporarily lost her citizenship. And you might be wondering, like, why would one of my daughters lose her citizenship? That is because one of my daughters, my adopted middle daughter, is Native American. And by that, I mean she is fully Native American. And the order that he got rid of birthright citizenship meant that because of the 1924 Indian Birthright Citizenship Act, that's what gave her citizenship. So if he got rid of birthright citizenship, that means anyone born under that act would be no longer a citizen of the United States, including every Native American in this country.
In case anybody is unaware of why Mike is talking about this, is because, number one, it affects him personally, emotionally, and sociology. Because Navajo residents have been complaining that ICE has been detaining them, thinking they're Mexican. Because
No,
Trump Trump stated, because someone may look bad. Yeah, they're basically going on what Trump said. They may look bad. He's going on looks.
No, it's not just that. I posted one article related to that where they are arresting Navajo people. They are detaining them despite them having, they're presenting IDs. They're still being arrested, detained, and held without cause. There are multiple cases of this, both happening to Lakota Indians, to Seminole Indians, all across this country. And you might think that, yeah, that wasn't intentional. You know, they're just trying to do the whole protection thing, except they're not. Because if you look at the article in question that I actually posted, that's in the links for the description of this, they are arguing. Several states already filed an injunction against that order specifically, including California. In the court case filed for it, Trump's Department of Justice specifically cited the fact that no, Native Americans don't have citizenship anymore, so why should illegal immigrants? So yes, they intentionally wrote it in such a way to remove citizenship rights to Native Americans in this country. They argued in court this week, Trump's DOJ, that Native Americans are not citizens anymore. Not only that, the Trump DOJ has said, and I've posted another link in this, how they are planning on sending ICE agents to California schools in particular, like the schools my daughter attends. Now, if they had done that while she was attending school under this executive order, my daughter would have been sent to one of the new detention facilities that the ICE has been building, which I also posted a link to, showing that these ICE camps exist.
And there's less than 1% chance that you have contact with her when she's detained.
Yeah, they would have no.
Yeah.
They would not need to contact me or her mother or her birth parents.
I thought the judge blocked it.
The judge did block it, fortunately. But I want you to understand, this is the person that people who voted for Trump, including you, NB, this is the situation that has caused in my, for me and my family.
Okay, well, tell your government.
Oh, sorry, tell me? You want to tell me something?
Yeah, if we're going to talk about this, let's be civil. I know it's emotional for you. Sanctuary cities to cooperate with the government.
Okay, no.
This has nothing to do with sanctuary cities. No, nothing to do with sanctuary.
Why did the Trump government, the Trump administration, argue that all Native Americans have lost citizenship in this country? They filed a motion saying that Native Americans have lost citizenship in this country.
When?
On January 24th.
Who filed it?
The Trump DOJ.
Okay, you're going to have to provide me a link on that because I haven't.
It is in the description. It is in the description for this.
I understand that.
Click on the little left box. You'll be able to find all the information that's relevant to what he's talking about.
Chill out.
Chill out.
Chill out, guys. I gotta research this stuff before I can really give you my.
How about you should have researched this bullshit before it happened?
What, are you mad at me about something?
I'm mad at everyone who voted for fucking Trump at this point.
For the record, I didn't.
Yeah, we know.
I'm on your side, Vile. I know. You admitted that. I voted for the person who would be best for the job. Nobody.
No, I've got something to say here. Very, very quickly. I understand the election didn't go your way this time. The last election didn't go the way.
Well, hold on.
Hola, Mrs. Cardenas.
Andy,
Hola, Mrs. Cardenas. Mrs. Cardenas is in the chat.
NB, I'm going to read you from the article. Hold on, NB, I'm going to read you from the article. In defending the Constitution, hold on. I need you to understand. I need you to listen. I need you to listen. In defending the constitutionality of the executive order, the United States Department of Justice argued in court that indigenous people did not have birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment, and because they were not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, neither should the children of non-citizen immigrants.
Yeah, I'm very well aware of that because Native Americans weren't given birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment.
Yes, they were under the 1924 birthright. It was specified under the 1924 Birthright Citizenship of Indigenous Peoples Act.
Yeah, but they had specified an act. It wasn't under the 14th Amendment.
Yeah, so that's why another act was created to clarify the 14th Amendment to give them rights.
No, they didn't have those rights under the 14th Amendment. They didn't get them until, like you said, 1924.
The act specifically says that because they would fall under the categories listed into the 14th Amendment, they have birthright citizenship.
Okay. So what's the problem here?
The problem is my daughter could have been thrown in one of those internment camp Trump wants is having built. I would not be contacted. Not only that, why are so many of these people being deported right now? Not being deported to their country of origin.
Well, let's see. Some of those countries of origin won't take them back.
Not only, well, there's that, plus there's the fact that they're just not giving a shit.
Yeah, Mexico. Okay, NB is partial. Hang on a second. Hang on a second, Mike. Hang on a second, Mike. NB, hang on a second. Hang on a second. NB is partially right. Guatemala, Venezuela will not take any their citizens back who try to apply for asylum in another country. That's a fact. They will not do that. Mexico will not take any other citizen from their country. It's Mexican policy. So the question he's trying to ask you, NB, why is Trump sending these people to Mexico when they don't even belong or came from Mexico?
I don't care.
Okay, so would you care if my daughter was one of those? Would you care that my daughter was shipped to some country she doesn't belong to because she happens to be Native American?
I don't even know how many kids you have.
4.
Okay,
my adopted daughter is Native American, NB. She could. I'm letting you know.
Wait a minute. She's Native American. Why would she be deported?
Exactly, that's the question.
Because they're deporting all of these people because they're all falling under the illegal category, and she could have been arrested, detained, deported to another country, despite the fact that she has no money, no identification, and no passport.
And she's a minor.
Somebody's got, yeah. But she's Native American to a tribe that has already
been but they're not deporting them to the tribes. They can deport them to any country they want. They've literally been sending Mexicans to Germany. Why are they sending Mexicans to Germany?
They'll take them.
But that's not the point. Why are they sending? I want you to imagine that your daughter, while in high school, had an ICE agent come to her classroom, arrest her, not call you, and have her sent to another country with you not being told any of it.
And
that's what could have happened.
And you don't find out about this through
you want to laugh
the news.
About it.
Mike,
it's not fucking funny, NB.
No, it's actually, you say it's not funny, but you're like, imagine. I don't have to imagine having my child taken away from me. I had the cops pull up at my house, at my friend's house, with the cop come up and say, I'm taking your daughter. CPS. I had that happen twice. My grandson is currently in the system. So don't talk to me about getting separated from your family. I know all about it. And you know what? There was no warrant. The guy walked and said, I'm taking the child, period.
Yeah, okay. Would your child be sent to another country?
Mike, mute yourself in the cars, please.
It doesn't matter.
Thank you.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? If my kid is sent to another country without anyone informing me about it, that would really piss me off, wouldn't it?
Well, gee, I don't know. Maybe when I was in court that day, maybe I was really pissed off that day when there were 6 cops there and the CPS agent saying, I'm taking your kid. And the cop had his hand on his gun because he could tell I was like...
I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Andy, was your kid still a citizen? Was your kid still a citizen?
Kid over. I had to hand my kid over.
Yeah. Was your kid still a citizen of this country? When that happened, was your kid still considered a citizen of this country?
Yes. Why would a Native American not be considered a citizen of this country?
We just talked about it. They're literally arguing that they're not. Trump's administration is arguing that Native Americans are not citizens, that his order rescinded their citizenship rights.
No, it didn't rescind their citizenship rights.
Then why are they arguing that in court?
I don't know, because I don't know. I haven't kept up with everything. It's been a busy.
You're telling me that a idiot in chief that has literally been sued or sued for Native American tribes didn't do this intentionally?
No, I don't believe it.
But they still are doing it.
And I honestly think you guys
Hold on 1 second.
Time's up. More than 1 second. I gave him grace period.
Oh, this is what it's going to be like for the next 4 years.
Oh, probably.
Maybe longer.
Now.
Maybe longer than 4 years. Maybe 8 years or 16 years.
Did you see the proposed amendment to try to give him a third term that specifically is written to not let Obama run again?
No. So what? So some idiot in Congress would put a proposed amendment. Give it. But who the fuck cares? It'll never pass.
This idiot is in Trump's circle.
Yeah, and why do you think it wouldn't pass right now? Do you think they were actually going
to pass? Period. Because, god damn, guys, how many times do I have to tell you what it takes to pass an amendment?
Okay, do you really think they're going to give a shit if it doesn't pass? They'll just say it did. They got the Supreme Court.
Because Trump signed an executive order to supersede the Constitution, which supersedes the congressional oversight of amending an amendment or eliminating amendments. That's what he did.
Damn it! Hold on. I'm going to turn off my camera. Hold on. I'm going to turn off my camera so I can add a healthy dose of alcohol. not hashtag not sponsored to my coffee. Thank you to Mrs. Vile for bringing it to me.
Nobody wants to do it. But when you guys do it, because you're all liberals, you're all.
I didn't hear the beginning of what you said because Mike was talking about alcohol. Repeat what you said, MB.
I forgot what the fuck I was saying at that moment.
Oh, sorry, because he was talking about alcohol when he was talking. I didn't hear what you said.
No, I mean the president does not. The president cannot stop a constitutional amendment. But what
that's why the judge blocked it.
You can't. No, you can't block constitutional amendment.
No, a judge blocked Trump's executive order for superseding a constitutional amendment by bypassing Congress. A judge said, no, you can't do that.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying every one of the 200 EOs he signed are going to make it. I don't know all 200 of them. Sorry, it's only been 6 days and I can only keep up. And even with the fact that I spend as much time as I do following politics, I can only keep up with so much so fast.
Well, it's a good thing I posted in my thing a list of all the things things he signed, all the executive orders. Isn't it great that I prepared?
Wow, that's a rarity.
That's one of the reasons I was so late in setting certain things up this week.
Is there any of them you agree with?
Well, let's find out, shall we? Hold on. Sorry, I'm working on the phone because I forgot my laptop in fucking the United States.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I can click on it.
I'm still
waiting.
Dude, I'm still
waiting.
Is that still the citizenship one? My daughter and her girlfriend are getting pissed. They're waiting on it. So which ones were there any you agreed with? I mean, I understand we can talk about interpretations of what you're talking about, and I can understand, but That seems a little. We're not kicking out Native Americans. It's not going to happen.
Except that's literally what they're arguing. They are arguing that all Native Americans should go back to their reservations and stay there.
Well, then whoever is proposing that is
Trump's DOJ. I'm telling you right now, who's saying that is Trump's DOJ.
Who in the DOJ?
The attorney who was defending his order to the Oregon judge. I don't know his name specifically.
I'll tell you in a moment. Let's see. Department of Justice. Let's go to DOJ on here. DOJ. Search. Let's see. Wow. First 100 hours historic action to kick off America's golden age. Only thing that came up.
And here's a funny thing. NB, the Constitution is still not showing up on the White House website anymore.
I don't go to the White House website very often, and I don't need to because I got the Constitution right here.
Well, I'm telling you right now, the Constitution has been removed from the current iteration of the White House website, along with, and Mrs. Viles pointed this out to me, the Spanish translation of the White House website has been removed.
All information for NASA has been removed. NASA, for peak's sakes, come on. I might understand the logic behind the Trump administration of removing some of these items and departments from the website, from the official White House website, but fucking NASA? What the fuck?
Doesn't NASA have its own website?
Yeah, yes, it's a government agency. It's supposed to be listed under the government agencies of the White House like it was on January 19th.
It's not a government agency. It's a contract agency. It's like
it's a government contracted agency. They were listed under the White House departments and administrations on January 19th, 2025. January 20th, everything disappeared. The Constitution, NASA, DOJ, FEMA, SSI information. SSI information. You can't even type SSI in there and it says no results found.
You planning on going and doing SSI right now?
What if somebody is? Okay, SSI is government. Let me go to the White House. How do I do this? Wait, no results found. Okay, I can't get SSI. Idiots do this. This is layman's terms. How do you go about finding something on the White House? Government program, SSI. It's nowhere to be found.
Hey, I was in communications for 20 years, trust me. You know, my wife brought up an interesting thing. There was a JavaScript that dropped. And here was the problem. It was the updated JavaScript that had to get dropped. But one of our websites, our leave web, our vacation web, you know, the site where you're like, I want to take leave from this day to this day. I want to go on vacation. Oh, that fucker wasn't compatible with it. So, of course, it got automatically dropped, and my team had to go out.
All right, question. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so I can't bring up the page without leaving StreamYards, but fortunately, you guys can still hear me.
And you are frozen.
So, well, I'll just have to be frozen for the time being.
Okay.
All right, so executive order, the first one, advancing racial equality and support for the underserved communities through the federal government, rescinded by Trump. So advancing racial equity is bad. And support for underserved communities is bad. He got rid of that.
Do you understand the terminology they're using?
Well, I'm just asking. So you're against racial equity and support for underserved communities?
No. I'm absolutely not.
Trump got rid of that. Okay, we're going to go to the next one. Ensuring a lawful. Hold on, we're going to the next one because we have 200 to go through.
Do you believe in a merit-based system or not?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
But what you're saying you can't have merit-based and serving undeserved communities?
Because when you have merit, you'll get diversity, and I know this firsthand.
How do you acquire merit if you're not even being allowed to be at the table?
How are you not being allowed at the table? Where are you?
Because you're underserved. That's the whole point.
Who's underserved?
The communities that are under that act or under that original executive order.
What is an underserved community? What is a minority community? What are we talking about now?
No.
Because I just hear these general terms, and if you're gonna
I can explain this because my neighborhood is considered one of those. Let me explain what this means, okay? It means that the neighborhood is the people who live in the neighborhood, the police ignore the crime, garbage is up, prices are high, people are scared to go out at night, jobs are very limited in the area, prices at the corner grocery stores are higher than the actual Safeway and Lucky's and grocery outlets, which should not be. I know you pay for convenience, but it's not convenience, really. Rent is too super fucking high. You have to pay at least 30 to 40% of your income, which is ridiculous, to get a 15 by 20 foot room called an SRO. That's the majority of what apartments are in the Tenderloin. If you see Venom and you see Eddie Brock's apartment in Tenderloin, that's bullshit. No.
Unfortunately, the original executive order for this has now been removed from the White House website, so I can't find it. But according to Wikipedia, the original point of it was for communities who are not receiving adequate support through the federal government tax incentive programs to give those underserved communities more tax revenue, including mostly states in the southern United States, but also communities of color.
Okay, it's still. What does this have to do? There's nothing specific in any of that.
You make minimum wage, you're going to get a tax break. That's what basically what it's supposed to be.
So why do people need a tax break?
Why do billionaires need a tax break?
I said, why do people need a tax break? Period.
I'm sorry, are billionaires not people?
I said people.
People need a tax break so they have more adequate money to actually support themselves.
And invest in the community by shopping at grocery stores and clothing outlets and other toy stores. Yeah, you invest back into the community.
But so far we've literally so far we're still just talking about the first one. Let's go to the next one and see why this one was bad. You can explain it to me, NB. Ensuring a lawful and accurate enumeration and appointment pursuant to the decennial census.
All right, say that again.
Ensuring a lawful and accurate enumeration and appointment. I'm sorry, appropriatement. I said that word wrong originally. Pursuant to the decennial census.
Okay, that's dealing with the census we have every 10 years.
Correct. Specifically, this is to make sure that any census is accurate and the people who and that it's appropriately funded. So why is the census or protections for the United States Census being removed?
Well, I would say one of the things is we had a problem with the census program during the last one because we allowed illegals to be counted.
As illegals.
That is part of the census to count how many illegals are in this country without them being fearful of going to jail for it.
The questions are you a citizen or you're not a citizen? Not a citizen, okay, you're in this country, not a citizen, boom. How old are you? Boom. Are you single or married? Boom.
What? We have legal residents, legal aliens doesn't mean they're a citizen. There are other forms.
Of course, illegals are not citizens. That's by definition. We're just talking about the fact that protections for the census are being removed.
But if we stopped counting illegals in our representation, see,
we don't do that. They're
no,
not
we don't do
representation.
That.
No,
yes,
only U.S. citizens counted is included in representation.
Yes,
hold on, no. They're counted for population statistics.
Exactly. And where does that population count affect? The House of Representatives.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
By definition, illegals are not allowed to be counted towards that population number.
No, because California lost some votes, lost some districts because of the whole point of they lost population.
Because populations move over time. We know that.
But the point is, we're counting the illegals.
So we know how many there are. That's it. That's all it should be for.
Yeah. Well,
the point of this is they want The point of this is they want census takers to act as law enforcement agents. If they encounter an illegal by knocking on someone's door or having someone take the census, they want that person to be arrested. The point of this originally was so that people would not fear taking the census, even if they're illegal.
No, the point is, if you're illegal, you shouldn't be taking the census at all.
Okay, so let me give you an example of what they're talking about. Mrs. Viola and I are not married. Let's say we got married and she came to the United States. Okay? She still would be illegal, correct? Hold on. She would still be correct. She would still be illegal, correct?
I'm not doing hypotheticals with you.
I'm doing it as an example, okay? So, she's illegal. I'm not.
She's not illegal.
No, if she comes to the United States and moves into my house with me, she would be illegal by definition.
3 years residency minimum.
7.
Okay.
7. Sorry. 3 to yes. Sorry.
All right. So now let's say we have some kids. Now, previously our kids would be considered legal. Now they'd be still considered illegal. Why would I fill out a census if it meant that her and my kids could now be arrested and thrown in jail or deported?
Correct. That is an incorrect interpretation of that.
No, that is not an incorrect interpretation, because that's exactly what would happen.
No.
Why would I fill out a census saying that my wife is illegal?
Well, it's not the point about that's not what I was talking about, but you were talking about your kids, and I assume you're going with birthright citizenship thing. Well,
especially now, because if Mrs. Viola and I have any kids right now, they wouldn't be American citizens.
Yes, they would be.
No, they wouldn't. Read the executive order he signed. You have to have both parents be legal citizens. If one is illegal, the children are illegal and will be deported.
That's what the law states. That's what he said.
That is the order he fucking signed, NB.
So show me the order.
It's in the links. Second one down.
So, no, that's not how it works, and I think you're over.
That's how it's worded, and that's how it's being argued in court. Again. So if they're arguing that in court, saying that if one parent is a citizen and one parent is not a citizen, the children are not citizens. That is what it states in the executive order. That is what they are arguing in court.
Well, that's stupid, because if one parent is
shit, it's stupid.
Okay, can I finish a statement?
I'm sorry, but I'm very emotionally entangled with this.
I understand you're very emotional, and I'm respecting that very much. I understand that. I get it. I get being emotional.
So I want you to imagine that if Mrs. Vile and I have any kids in the next year or two, or next 4 years, they will not be considered American citizens. Period.
No, they would be considered Americans with dual citizenship.
No, they wouldn't.
No,
because the order he signed said that no child born of an illegal will have citizenship.
I think you are misinterpreting that.
Again, if I am wrong, why is that what they are arguing in court? Why is the Department of Justice saying that if one parent is illegal, the child is illegal?
We don't know. I haven't actually, like I said, it's been a busy 6 days.
I am telling you that right now, and I provided links in the description to prove my point.
Mike, and you know damn well I'm going to look this shit up. Okay.
The only thing that stopped it was literally, the states like mine who argued against filed injunctions against this order. Pardon me. I'm going to try to mute myself because someone's using a saw.
Oh, now you mute yourself and the camera comes back. Wow.
You know, I thought that was a dog I heard barking.
No, that was just Mike talking.
Yeah. Their family dog is barking too, especially now because the saw is going off.
I can't hear the saw, but I can definitely hear the dog. Like I said, I haven't gone through all 200 executive orders yet. And that's going to take me some time. And hola, Mrs. Cardenas. Now, that one I do agree with.
What, you're a woman? We're a woman now?
No. The whole thing about the male-female thing. I know it's going to piss some people off, but I do agree with that. States and local officials, it's like, okay, fine. Now they're talking about, it's like, well, what about other countries that allow X or whatever? And it's like, I think you're overblowing it.
People with passports and driver's license with the hang on.
Still going to be
Mike.
Hold on.
Sorry, hang on.
Go ahead.
People who currently have X on their passport and driver's license and that real ID that's legally required to fly will soon become invalid. So they have to reapply for a whole new passport, a whole new ID, real ID, do a new driver's license again. You know how long it takes to get a fucking passport issued? You can't just change your sex and you have to reapply for one.
And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that, what Mrs. Vile posted. According to one of the executive orders he signed, basically the way it was worded for, assigning gender, not sex, assigning gender, everyone's now a woman.
The way he worded it.
Are you now? Again, this is also something that I think has been stopped by the courts. I can't prove it right now because I didn't look that one up specifically. But the way it is worded, NB, you are now a woman. Are you okay with that?
No.
This has been filed in the courts, not actually set yet. It's been motion.
The thing is, I'm a man. I'm not a cis man. That was the other thing.
No. I'm saying the way it was worded, because they specifically said, hold on. I didn't look this one up specifically, so I didn't put the link in the description.
At conception, it is what it said. At conception.
It basically we're saying that the largest sex cell that you have when at conception defines your gender. The largest sex cell that everyone has when they are conceived is the female sex cell. That means everybody is now legally a woman, including you, NB.
Well, for men, we're now trans, right?
So how does it feel to be legally a woman now, NB?
Or if you have a penis, you're trans. How does it feel to be trans?
Yes, you are. Yes, you have a penis, so I guess you would be trans.
Yeah.
How does it feel to now be a trans man in this country?
I'm not trans.
Well, if you're arguing that you're a man, legally you started as a woman. You are now a man.
You're a trans
so
man.
you are a trans man. Congratulations, NB.
Yeah, whatever.
So you still like that one? How you're now a woman?
Oh, coughing excuse. Saved by the bell.
And if you want to think about how stupid this is, NB, anyway. According to that fucking executive order, I became a man as soon as I crossed into Mexico. While you're still a woman. So I'm a man, you're a woman, LDG's a woman, and Elihu's a woman.
Well,
to quote Shania Twain, man, I feel like a woman.
Yeah. And Denny Land points out, it does say at conception. It doesn't say at birth. That goes to show you how stupid the Trump administration is, because they don't know biology and they don't know the importance of the difference between conception and birth. You don't have
any organs at conception.
No, but you do have two sex cells.
You have chromosomes
at conception, a sperm and an egg. Yes, you do.
Those are not cells.
Those are cells. They're haploid cells.
But they're not sex
And by
cells.
arguing that, and LDG, you obviously don't know biology either. They are haploid cells.
Florida education.
They're not sex cells.
The sperm and the egg are sex cells.
No, they're not sex cells, dude. What are you talking about?
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. They have nothing to do with sex whatsoever.
A sperm has nothing to do with sex. It is an egg.
Yeah,
okay,
dude,
so I'm blowing my nose in a woman's vagina to get her pregnant. Okay.
I'm trying to listen before I get interrupted.
Yeah.
Like
you're
saying
Dandelion also points out something I was going to bring up later.
You're trying to say that a sperm is male and an egg is female. That doesn't even make sense.
No.
Try to read the executive order, because it says the largest existing sex cell at conception.
They're not sex cells, dude.
The egg is a sex cell.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is by definition.
What makes it what's the definition?
It is a haploid cell. And it is a sex cell.
A sex cell is like the cells from your freaking penis. Or the cells that
Where do you think the sperm comes from?
Your nuts. What are you talking about? The sex cells are the sperm and egg. That's what humans and most mammals create.
When
you fertilize,
the cells around your penis is the same around your nose, dude. It's not. It's an organ. It's the same as your nose and ear.
It's the sperm and the egg that creates the first four cells, or the first cell that splits.
They merge together to create the first cell.
Yes.
And then the zygote splits.
It's not a cell.
No. And LDG, you're also showing your ignorance, because it's not a zygote. It's a blastocyst at that point, not a zygote.
I read it was a zygote.
That was me.
A zygote then?
It's a zygote is after it's the anus has been formed.
You're gonna make me pull out frickin' the encyclopedia, are you?
Yeah. Mrs. Viles pointing out, they're called gametes, sexual cells. They are haploid cells. And at conception, you exist as a single sperm cell and a single egg cell. Which is the larger cell? And yes, Mrs. Vile was pointing out a haploid cell is 23 chromosomes, diploid is 46. Because all sex cells, haploid cells, meaning half, contain half the genetic material from the male parent, the sperm, and the female parent, the egg. At conception, the largest of those sex cells is the egg.
Okay, so when a sperm fertilizes an egg, they combine to form a zygote, which I was correct.
A blastocyst.
It is a zygote.
A blastocyst.
A diploid. A diploid.
Yes, they form a diploid cell, correct.
Yes, which is the zygote. It is, in fact,
which is a blastocyst.
You're wrong. It's a zygote.
Zygote technically doesn't form until after the anus is formed.
No, it says straight up in here, it is a freaking zygote the second it's fertilized. The moment it's fertilized. I'm looking at facts right now. You're saying words. I'm looking at facts.
Hold on. Where did you look it up?
Let me get a.
You are able to share your screen, LDG.
Right, I'm gonna put a link. I'm gonna put a link in.
LDG, you are able to share your screen. You know that.
No, I got too much on my screen right now.
Okay.
So genome.gov. And this is a government website. Links in the chat and private chat. There you go.
Sorry, I'm too busy eating.
I'll see if I can get you something else here. Just for extra. National Library of Medicine. .gov. And let's see here.
Okay, blastulation is the stage of early animal development that produces the blastula. A mammalian development, a blastula develops into the blastocyst with a differential inner cell mass and an outer cell trophoderm. Sorry. Hollow sphere of cells known as blastomeres, surrounding an inner fluid-filled cavity called the blastoscoel. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. And the embryo develops with a sperm fertilizing the egg to become a zygote, which undergoes many cleavages to develop into a ball of cells called morula. So it goes from blastocyst to zygote. But yes, you can argue that a zygote is a blastocyst is also a zygote, I guess. But technically, you start out as a blastocyst.
Okay, for fucking A's sake, we're guys. Why are we talking about how babies are born?
Because apparently, certain people don't know. Yeah, there's that too.
Seriously, we're guys. Why are we talking about how babies are born?
No, apparently you're female. I'm sorry.
Yeah, whatever.
So it says here that a zygote, which comes before a blastocyst, after several rounds of cell division, a zygote becomes a blastocyst. Okay, so a zygote only has a sex based on chromosomes, not by a cell, because there's only one cell.
Except for the fact that the way that the order was written, it says at conception. You get that, right? I completely agree, Daniel. This type of bullshit should not be legislated by the government. I get sex. I don't get this whole gender issue. All right, so I might be frozen again, so I'm just gonna get rid of that for a sec. Let's go to the next order. See how stupid this stuff is. All right. Well, here's one that I know that I'm going to skip the one relating to COVID-19 because technically that stuff is already passed. Most of that stuff is already passed. It was just rescinding orders that were no longer in effect. Preventing and combating.
Hang on, Mike. Mike, I got to say something about that. I'm not sure if you got to listen up, but he also gave clemency and
hold on. If you're going to talk about the one of the COVID-19 ones, because there's multiple ones, I'll go ahead and read the order. The order that is hereby rescinded is organizing and mobilizing the United States government to provide a unified and effective response to combat COVID-19 and to provide the United States leadership on global health and security. That was the one that was removed.
He also granted clemency and let service members re-enlist who got dishonorable discharge for refusing the COVID vaccine.
That specifically has nothing. Hold on. Hold on. Before you get into it, NB.
Second.
Hold on. I want to clarify. I need to clarify. Elihu, what you just mentioned has nothing to do with the specific order that just got rescinded. We can talk about that on a later one if it's on this when it's on this list.
Also, they did not get dishonorably discharged. I get so sick of people saying that when it's like
some got a dishonorable discharge, some did not.
They didn't. They got a general or
they got a medical discharge.
They got what?
Most of them got medical discharges.
No.
Okay, so it seems like you guys misread it because I just read the damn thing.
They didn't. Most of them got honorable discharges.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with the order I just talked about, though.
In the chat so people can see for themselves. Private chat.
Now, Elihu, to say someone deserves a dishonorable discharge or something like that, dude, you have to really fuck up to go there.
I never said they deserved it. I said some got one. Listen to what I said.
No, they didn't.
Some got dishonorable discharge, some got honorable discharge, some got medical discharge. Not everybody got the same kind of treatments.
How do you know?
It's public knowledge.
Hold on. This has nothing to do with what I just said. As I said, I don't want to go into arguing for things that weren't on the order that was rescinded. God dang it. So I was back on. So I want to get rid of this conversation until we come up to that specific one. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Because as I said, this specific order basically had nothing, was pointless because, the COVID-19 pandemic has already been dealt with to it's now just something we're gonna have to deal with on a yearly basis. It's not that important. This was probably just to appease the people that don't like the COVID-19 stuff. So we're gonna go to the next one. I'm sure this is one that NB's for. The executive order preventing and combating discrimination on basis of gender identity and sexual orientation. That one's gone.
I'm sorry, say that again.
The previous executive order signed by Biden preventing and combating discrimination on the basis of gender identity or sexual orientation. Trump got rid of that one.
If you're gay, you're fucked.
Yeah, basically, when it comes to the gender identity thing, because remember, he doesn't give a shit about that. But now it is okay. It is basically saying that it's okay to discriminate on the basis of sexual orientation now under certain circumstances.
Actually, guys, I've got that for you. the military has what is called lawful discrimination. It's just is what it is. There are certain jobs I wasn't allowed to do because of my eyesight or whatever. My wife is short.
All right. From what I understand, this is not an executive order having to do with the military. This is having to do with hiring and firing processes. So basically, it is okay. As far as the Trump administration is okay, it is okay to fire someone for being gay. You agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that. Obviously, if you're gay, if you're interpreting that way, I figure if you're holding your own and you're doing the job, what's the big deal?
Well, according to your administration, if you're gay, you're allowed to be discriminated against. That was that executive order.
I know for a fact MB doesn't care if the person behind him, if the person has a 6 is gay or straight or whatever, as long as they have a 6. I know MB knows about that.
Yeah.
As long as they have your 6, I don't care. We both agree on this part.
Remember, okay, maybe I should clarify. The first, 70 some odd executive orders he signed are revocation orders. These are orders revoking certain laws or executive orders signed by previous administrations.
Yeah, every administration does that.
And I will let you know that these executive orders signed by previous presidents go back, as far as I can tell, to 1974. I'm sorry, 1964.
Eisenhower.
So these are some of the ones that he's been getting rid of. Ones that have been signed by Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush 2, Obama, and Biden. These are ones he's getting rid of.
But are they needed anymore? That's the key thing. Are they really needed anymore?
Okay, by that, let's go to the next one. And I say this is very important. Ethics commitments by the executive branch personnel. Those ethics commitments are now gone.
I would have to look at that EO more in detail.
All right, just so you know, this is specifically Executive Order 13989. So 13989. So that allows, basically saying that they want the Trump's administration wants the executive branch to have less ethic oversight.
Well, Congress doesn't exactly follow ethics very well anymore.
Okay, but this order was specifically aimed at the executive branch, not the legislative branch. So
okay,
just remember that.
Well, I will have to read it before I can respond to it. That's how I am.
All right, executive order. The next one. This is 13990. Again, this is a revocation order. I just want to keep clarifying that. Protecting the public health and environment and restoring science to tackle the climate crisis. No comments on that one?
Not really. I don't really get. Look, the climate crisis thing, I've been hearing about it my whole life. I'm just like, I'm done with it.
Okay. Specifically, that order, the original order was to provide funding for parts of the government that were concerned with public health, the environment, and in order to tackle the climate crisis. Originally signed in 1992 by Bush the First.
Can't say that EO really did much of the damn thing, did it?
Well, who knows how much money they were actually getting?
I don't know.
This one is relatively vague, and there's not much on it. The next one just says revocation of certain executive orders concerning federal regulation. which I'm sure you're against, or you're for, and B, because you don't want federal regulations. And they don't provide a link. Hold on, I just want to clarify, they do not provide a link to which executive orders they were referring to.
Now, if you remember how we've talked about this before, I never said I was against regulations. I said I'm against over-regulating. There's also, I'm against under-regulating because we saw what happened with that. That's why we had to build union. That's why we have unions. That's why we have Labor Day. And that's why we have regulations for safety.
That specific order was just to get rid of certain executive orders that concerned federal regulation. And again, there's no link on that one, so I can't go into details on it. And it seems incredibly vague the way it's worded.
It might be, could be outdated. I mean, you gotta understand, some of these things just might not need to be in place anymore. I mean, some things were necessary for the time that America was living in, but we've kind of moved on from that. At least I'd like to think most of us have. At least I thought we really were until, I don't know.
All right. The next executive order, revoking certain protections for legal immigration. What is this? What is this thing about? Why does he want to get rid of so much legal immigration?
I don't know. To be honest, I'm not 100% familiar with our legal immigration process. So I can't speak on that.
Okay, because you'll see a lot of this regarding legal immigration being curtailed as well. And I'm going to get a strike because that guy's now playing music. All right, next order, ensuring equitable pandemic response and recovery. Gone.
Like I said,
Silent on that one?
No, I have to actually read it. That's the thing. I have to actually read these. Some of them I have to actually read to know if I agree or disagree. You guys can understand, it's not like I'm going to agree with everything Trump does.
He just read it to
well,
you.
But the thing is, you say that, and you remember, you still voted for it.
I voted for Donald Trump. Yes, I did.
And you didn't realize that what he was going to do was basically fuck over a large portion of the country.
No, I know exactly what he was going to do. And you're treating me, and I'm sorry to say, this is where I was going earlier, like it's 2016 again, where...
No, it's worse.
Well, in 2016, I walked into my office, and I had one of my contractors, who is a freaking pastor, who knew I was voting for Trump, turned around and said, "Fuck you."
And and I'm at that level right now, MB.
Why? What?
Again, because one of my kids is now being targeted. My significant other is being targeted, and any potential kids that I have with her are being targeted. And when we were talking about when we were talking about the legal immigration, they're going to make it damn hard for Mrs. Vile as a Mexican to legally immigrate to the United States if she chooses to in the future.
Does she want to?
Now I don't know.
That is a conversation we can have with her later.
Yeah, now I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What's
All
the
right,
next
we'll
one?
go to the next. We'll go to the next one. Again, it's a COVID-19 one. I'm going to go ahead and skip it because
Yeah.
COVID-19 should be relevant.
Yeah, actually, the next two are both COVID-19 related, so we're going to skip those. Executive Order 13999, getting rid of protecting worker health care and worker health and safety. So basically, it was the order was protecting worker health and safety. He was getting rid of the order to protect worker health and safety. So, what's wrong with worker health and safety, NB?
I don't even know what that executive order was about.
The
Getting
original
rid of
order
health
was
and safety.
the original order was to further. Hold on. I will explain. The original order was for additional regulations, which remember the Republicans are mostly against, concerning worker health and safety. So basically, this order was to get rid of regulations forcing companies to, be concerned with worker health and safety. I don't know how many more times I can read it.
No.
I put something in the chat. He might actually understand that statement. I put in the chat. He might understand that better.
I understand exactly what he's saying. Okay. Chill out.
Remember that one of the things he wanted to do is get rid of a lot of regulations, including, stuff for workers, stuff protecting them.
No, I disagree with that. We have
what he just did.
Is this what's going to be like with you guys for the next 4 years?
What, we're going to go through the shitty signs and does? Yes.
These are all things that he that implements every single U.S. citizen. This implements me, Mike, you.
Yeah, those regulations protect me at my job.
I think you guys are blowing this out of proportion. I really do.
I don't when someone signs 200 plus executive orders on day one.
Okay, how many executive orders did Biden sign on day one, and how many of Trump's stuff did he rescind?
Let's go to the Google Mobile.
Oh, I can do it even faster, dude. Watch. Hang on. Listen. Look. Okay, let's see. You want to know how many Biden? How many executive orders did Joe Biden sign on his first day of office?
He's came back from a search.
Let's see. On 100th day of president ended April 30th, 2024. Over his first 100 days, Biden signed 42 executive orders, more than any of his predecessors since Harry S. Truman. 100 days, he signed 42. That's Biden.
Yeah, so, in the first 100 days, 42.
How many?
Okay, hang on. How many executive orders did Obama sign on his first day of office?
Here are the top search results.
Okay, let's see. Executive orders: Biden, Obama. Let's see.
God, I wish my wife would just let me shave my head.
Let me try Jimmy. Hang on.
Yeah, so it took 100 days for Biden to get to 42 executive orders. Trump did over 200 on day one.
And?
Just that's large sweeping changes.
That's what the American people voted for.
No, that's what less than a third of the American people voted for.
Yeah, dude, listen, just because they voted for Trump doesn't mean they voted for Trump. They voted not for Kamala. There's a difference.
Excuse me. We're not playing that game anymore.
Not a game.
And if you want to,
well, it is.
And remember, if you want to go by actual numbers, less than a third of the country voted for Trump. So if you want to go by that much, let's go ahead and go to the next one because this is just Executive Order 14,000. The executive order for providing money to reopen and continue operations for schools and early childhood education providers. Gone.
Good.
So basically, he wanted to get rid of giving money to schools to keep operations running and for early childhood providers.
Yeah, and?
What?
Well, about 19 schools have burned down, so that's a few 100,000 kids.
What is it with you against? What is it with you against schools? NB, seriously.
Experience.
You do realize that schools are important. Education is important.
Yeah, that's why I'm homeschooling so my kids. That's why.
All right, and let me. Okay.
That's why two of my kids are thriving. That's why two of my kids are going to graduate, and my oldest.
Graduate. Hold on. Graduate from what?
They're going to graduate.
You can get a homeschool. Hey, you can get a homeschool diploma online for $40. Anybody can get one.
Excuse me.
Unfortunately, I'm on thing, so I can't.
Oh, you don't want to go there.
Actually, yeah, I posted a link and everything how you can buy your own diploma from homeschool.
My wife in here, she will light your ass up.
There's a link with an official homeschool diploma.
Hold on, NB. Let me ask you this: what do you think early childhood education providers are?
I don't fucking know. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Preschools and daycare.
So what?
So why does he want to get rid of preschools and daycare?
Single parent. What's single parent going to do?
Why do we need preschool?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know about you, but when I had young kids, when I had Caddy when she was a kid, she was in preschool and in daycare because I couldn't afford to stay at home because I had to work.
Yeah, well, see, I didn't have preschool. I had daycare.
Okay, so now let's say that because your daycare received federal funding, suddenly they had to close. What would you do?
Mike, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to continue with beating me up about this shit, I'm going to leave.
By all means, then fucking leave, NB, because you're the one who voted for Trump. You're the only one on the panel that I can actually argue with this with, so you can defend that position.
I can talk to you about them, but you're acting like an asshole.
No shit, I'm acting like an asshole.
Yeah, well,
I'm mad, NB, because of the shit that the guy you voted for did.
So you're mad at me?
I am mad at everyone who voted for Trump at this point. I'd already said that.
So I'm back in 2016. Great. Mike, I'm going to back out now. Hopefully next week you're in a better mood, but you need to get over it.
How can he fucking get over his fucking kid almost getting fucking deported? I'm sorry, dude. How can you fucking get over that? I'm sorry, man. I'm fucking swearing. Yeah. There's no fucking way. You're a cool dude, Jess, but no, there's no fucking way he's going to get over his kid almost getting deported. No. An American citizen kid? No. There's no fucking way.
All right, let's go to the next one. Again, sorry, the next one again has to do with COVID-19. God, a lot of these had to do with COVID-19. So, All right, Executive Order 14003, getting rid of protections for the federal workforce.
Oy.
Now, I will admit, some of these have not actually gone into effect. Some of the orders that he signed have dates attached to them. Everything that we signed already, or that I talked about already, went into effect on January 20th, 21st, or 22nd. The next
30
one
days to become effective, though. Like the immigration status, that one takes 30 days. Oh.
The next one, Executive Order 1404, went into effect yesterday. So I'm sure that because it was over the weekend, it has not been challenged in courts yet because it won't be able to until tomorrow. Getting rid of the order enabling all qualified Americans to serve their country in uniform. So yeah,
Can you repeat
basically
that
that's a
one?
way to make sure that certain people can't serve in the military.
Repeat that again, because I'm hearing music.
Yeah, sorry. Let me roll the window back up. One of the neighbors here is playing music while they work on their car.
Hey, Daniel.
So yeah, the order was signed by Joe Biden.
Hello.
Enabling all qualified Americans to serve their country in uniform. Basically, there was protections for transgender and women to serve in the military. Trump got rid of that.
Phone call. Be right back.
Sorry, I apologize. I misread. Transgender, gay, and women to serve in the military.
So is you feeling don't ask, don't tell?
It's not necessarily getting rid of that, but it's getting rid of their ability to actually be allowed to serve in the military. So probably having to do with recruitment. It doesn't go into detail on the White House webpage.
Yeah, there's no shit on the White House webpage. It's a fluff piece.
All right, the one that goes into effect today. There's only one that goes into effect today. The executive orders signed. It doesn't say who signed it. Reforming the incarceration system to eliminate the use of privately operated criminal detention facilities. I wonder why he wants to get rid of that one.
So he's going to allow private prisons again. For profit prisons, I meant. Wow.
Well, remember, the ones that are the ones that I posted the link to being built or to be used by ICE in that thing I posted are privately owned. That's so that these detention facilities, the one that my daughter could have been sent to, would have been sent to that privately owned detention facility.
So I got a weird question. What happens if somebody's like visiting from another country just for like a holiday?
And what?
Or would they be considered legally there, just temporarily there? Because don't most people come in like legally like that and then overstay their visas?
Well, as of right now, if they don't have their documents on hand showing and someone stops them, local law enforcement, ICE, or just an asshole citizen, because there is citizen's arrest type things, if they don't provide that documentation, they can be arrested and detained until they can either provide that information or they're deported. So yes, someone here visiting can be deported.
And technically, they do not get
on hand.
And technically, they do not get a phone call to get somebody to say, "Hey, my documents are here. Get it." They can't do that. They can't call the hotel or their relative and say, "Hey, I'm detained. I need my doc." They can't even do that.
But don't they recommend you actually not carry your passport with you in case it gets stolen?
Well, now if you don't have that with you, you can be detained by even private individuals. So if you have an asshole who just sees a brown person, that person can do a citizen's arrest on the brown person. And when law enforcement actually gets involved, if they don't have their documentation provided, that person can be detained, arrested, and deported. And no, they don't have to be given the opportunity to get. The
fun thing that we always say, because I live really close to the border close to the Canadian border, and we have a farm on both sides. We have a U.S. company as well as the Canadian one, but some of the staff crosses the border for work. Not me. I don't have my passport right now, but anyway, when they pop into the office on their way down, it's like, "Oh, so you're heading to Crazy Land today?" We actually refer to the U.S. as Crazy Land, and it wasn't just since October. We've been calling you guys that for about 10 years now. Just so you know, the whole respect for U.S. You guys get less and less respect every time you elect that dude.
I resemble that remark.
I mean, we mean it somewhat affectionately because obviously, it's not like we
Kind of like,
hate you all or anything, but
kind of like the joke goes.
you just make life so very difficult.
Yeah, like that old joke goes. What borders on stupidity? Canada and Mexico.
Yeah. All right. So the next executive order. The President's Council on Advisors of Science and Technology, gone. That one goes into effect tomorrow.
Yeah,
I wonder why Trump wouldn't. I wouldn't wonder why Trump wouldn't want a bunch of science and technology advisors giving him advice. The next one, very similar. Getting rid
Sorry, I
of.
wanted to say something. Sorry.
What?
That kind of reminds me of the movie Don't Look Up. The science and technology advisor telling you, sir, we'll get an impact. Oh no, I don't believe you. Yeah, don't look up. It's happening, guys.
The Council for Tackling the Climate Crisis at Home and Abroad, gone. As of tomorrow.
The Paris Accords.
Yeah, he already got rid of those. So yeah, I'm shocked that he's getting rid of the people whose job it is to advise him on that. The next one, getting rid of certain executive orders strengthening Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act.
Is anybody doing like a matchy on which of these ones are out of Project 2025? Because everyone didn't like Project 2025. Like that wasn't popular.
Dandelion, according to some of the things that from Cohen, the guy, he's on Twitter and Blue Sky. I can't remember his first name. About 95% of these are from Project 2025.
Gotcha.
Let's see. So, yeah, basically they want to get rid of protections for Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. I'm shocked. They want people to be unhealthy. And I'm sure that won't affect anyone on Medicaid or the Affordable Care Act.
Oh, no, it won't, because I'm on Medicaid and part of the Affordable Care Act. Wow, that is not going to affect me one bit.
Are the fires getting any better down there? I kind of hear like mixed stuff about it.
If we're going to go on that tangent real quick, there is a fire right actually near Mrs. Vile's place on the U.S. side of the border called the Border 2 fire. Right now we're getting a boon because it started raining last night.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm hoping that to help with the fire. I have not checked on Cal Fire for it because again, that fire is very close. I mean, I could see the fire from when I crossed the border.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that picture, dude. That was weird. That was freaky.
Lots of border fires here in the summer, like ones that start on one side.
There's some worse ones I could post.
No, I already saw that one.
All right. This order, the original order was creating a comprehensive regional framework to address the causes of migration, to manage migration through North and Central America, and to provide safe and orderly processing of asylum seekers at the United States border. That order is being rescinded as of February 2nd. That
order basically looked into why are they coming here? He doesn't care anymore. He's like, nope, get him out, get him out, get him out.
Well, it's to find out why they're coming here and to provide safe and orderly processing of asylum seekers. And remember, asylum, while they come here illegally, I have to note that, in order to request asylum, you have to come here illegally. It's like literally, it's part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to, and asylum is a legal way of becoming a citizen or at least staying in this country. They want to get rid of that. Again, so they want to get rid of legal immigration.
Yeah, and he and basically the CBP One app got disabled.
Yeah, they did that too.
That.
But why did they hold on?
For, like their appointments got canceled.
Yeah, everybody got canceled. The app's disabled. Nothing. No information. Nobody can access it.
Now, maybe you can. You're in Canada, Dandelion. Maybe you could explain to me why did he only disable the app for Mexicans at the Mexican border, but not the Canadian border?
I don't know. Do not know. I'm sure that that will
I
come
know
in.
it's strange. It's only from the Mexican border, but not the Canadian border.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
The actually unfortunate thing is that people do actually come to Canada like on a vacation theoretically, and then they do try to cross the Canadian border, but a lot of them unfortunately don't. They do it in like January, and then they try and cross in like Manitoba or somewhere like that. And we've actually had like families of people like originally from India or somewhere that are like found frozen to death in like a field because they try crossing and it's like minus 30 out, and they don't have the clothing, or they're not prepared for minus 30-degree weather. I say minus 30 because it's like where Fahrenheit and Celsius meet. So I mean, it could be a few degrees either side of that. But yeah, there have been incidents of people getting dying trying to cross.
Well,
so
the same thing happens. Hang on a second. The same thing happens in the southern border because of the heat. And I want to make the statement here. When Michael Chiklis was filming his little thing, Coyote, it's been verified that some of the crew members and cast members purposely placed water bottles for migrants when they're trying to cross the desert. They're not going to be unnamed. They're not going to be named, but they actually confirmed they left water for people to drink when they left the set, when they closed set down. I'm like, thank you guys, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that.
No worries. But the funny thing is, our border, like with you guys, is mostly just like here. There's a ditch, like not even a big ditch, just an ordinary ditch. There's like we have zero road.
It's a gully.
Yeah, it's not even a gully. Like honestly, it's like one of the smaller ditches because we've got some because we get a lot of rain here. So most of our ditches are like a good 6 feet deep and 4 feet wide. And that one isn't even that big. It's like you could jump across it when you were 5 kind of size ditch. It's just a little ditch. It's basically just like there's like little markers, like little concrete thingies that say, don't cross this line. And there'll be a house on each side.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've seen pictures of it, but I haven't seen it in person. But yeah. And when it comes to illegal immigration in this country, these are the stats, at least according to the Department of Homeland Security. 70% of our illegal population come from overstayed visas.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Yeah.
20%, or sorry, 15, again, I apologize, 18% of our illegal immigration comes from the Canadian border.
Yep. It's not a huge amount.
7 to 9% come from illegals coming in through the coastline ports, with the remaining approximately 10% of illegals coming across the southern border.
Yeah.
So they're so focused on the southern border, but only 10% of our illegal population comes from the southern border.
Yep. I know. Well, the whole thing really is. It's like a smoke screen. It's not really the issue that they think it is. What really makes more sense would be to do like what we have with Mexico is you actually develop a foreign workers program, because a lot of people want to come in and work for 6 months or whatever, and then they want to go home. They don't want to leave Mexico.
Yeah, they don't want to stay there. They just want the money, and I get that.
Do some work, and I think part of the reason is because the companies that employ them probably don't want the regulations that come along with it. Right? Because we actually have they can't get less than minimum wage, which I think our minimum wage is at least $15 an hour. And most of them get more than that.
Hold on. Is that Canadian monopoly money or is that American money?
Yeah, Canadian monopoly money.
Okay, just making sure.
So it's even less than it sounds like.
All right, here's a nice the next one is a nice fun one. Joe Biden signed an executive order establishing an interagency task force. In other words, an agency that's supposed to work with the Department of Homeland Security, ICE, and CBT, Customs Border Patrol.
Yep.
For the reunification of families. Trump is going to get rid of that on February 2nd.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that they don't do the tariffs, because the tariffs are going to be just a disaster for us all.
well, especially the northern states, who, because of pipelines issues, a lot of our northern states get their natural gas from Canada to heat their homes. If those, and that's mostly Oregon, North Dakota, South Dakota, Washington,
Illinois,
all the border ones.
Pennsylvania.
Mostly not the New England states, but there are some New England states that do benefit from those pipelines from Canada. All those would be tariffed, and a lot of people in those states aren't going to be able to afford to heat their homes from now on if they're put into effect during the winter. But that's again going on a tangent that's not related to the one we just talked about. So apparently, reuniting families is against Trump's and his administration.
Mm-hmm.
Next executive order. It doesn't say who it was signed by. Restoring faith in our legal immigration systems, strengthening integration and inclusion efforts for new Americans. Apparently, that's bad, and Trump's getting rid of it on February 2nd.
So no integrated marriages?
Against what I mean, that's what my stand against this whole immigration bullshit is that instead of kicking people out, we should be letting them in faster. Like legally.
Well, apparently, again, this was again legal immigration.
Let people say something. Sorry, he was still talking. Go ahead, LDG.
I apologize.
No, that's all I was saying. No, it's fine. It's just I'm against that. Like if we're gonna let people in, then we need to like this is what America's about, for God's sakes. We need to figure out how to strengthen the little hole that we get. Like that's the argument, right? Oh, we can't take all these. There's a legal way to get in here, but that hole is tiny. Like it's so tiny to get in here. We need to open up that hole, let people come in here and integrate, not take people's jobs, but add to the value of America in a positive way.
Yeah.
Instead of kicking everybody out and we're American. If it wasn't for immigration, we wouldn't even be here, for God's sakes. And
then
you got these idiots that piss me off that say, let me just finish this because I'll forget what I'm about to say. Then you had this one idiot who said, it was some senator or something, that says, well, in order to be American, you have to earn it. No, that's not what it was about. Like all you had to do was be different and accept that, want freedom, the pursuit of happiness, be different and accept other people for their differences. That was it. Like that was the requirement. You had that, then you're in.
Yep.
LDG, LDG, what you were saying at the beginning, you were paraphrasing every single Republican who kept on saying you need to get here legally, like my grandparents did. But they forget to admit their grandparents got here by buying a ticket to a boat or plane. It didn't get enacted until about 24 or 27. Yeah.
Well, as I said, this is just another one of those executive orders trying to limit legal immigration. Remember, they don't want to just get rid of illegals. They want to make sure that no one else comes to this country, especially from brown people countries.
So, Pickles, did you end up voting for him, or did you just not vote?
He said no. He said none. He voted none of the above.
I did the Brewster's Millions. None of the above.
Okay, no, that's cool. I to be honest, I respect that.
I think it's starting to become a little bit more respectful too, because back then it would just be people who get called lazy. I'm like, no, I'm not going to vote for that shit this exact reason.
Yeah.
The next executive order, again, this is one that they seem to really want to point out the ones that are signed by Joe Biden. This one was signed by Joe Biden. Rebuilding and enhancing programs to resettle refugees and planning for the impact of climate change on migration. That executive order will be rescinded as of February 4th.
The hell does climate change and migration have?
Well, because when other places
animal migration,
less habitable, people are likely to start moving to places that have slightly better infrastructure to deal with it, like
beach erosion houses, fire damage houses. That's sort of
places that just don't have water anymore, places that are now underwater. That sort of
inundated by natural disaster. Yeah.
All right, I switched away from it for a second because I'm going to see if I can show real quick.
Not
just because I'm happy about this.
Gonna go to.
If you can look on my windshield, you can see the drops. So yes, it is raining again. Hopefully that is helping with the fire in our area.
Hopefully.
Sorry, I just wanted to point that out because I am worried about the Otay fire.
Yeah, that's close by.
Considering I will be crossing the border later today, right there.
You gonna live stream it?
We used to
Okay,
have
she's.
somebody
I
do
just realized she's
live stream
doing
crossing the
updates.
border. I think it was
Yeah.
bees.
Yeah, we're getting more and more fires up here in the summer. Actually, it's starting earlier every year too. We don't get an
Yeah, and that's
awful lot down here where
that's
I
what's
am.
scary
Like, we
too.
get some of them sometimes, but they definitely get them further into the mountains and out on the island sometimes. And yeah, it's pretty scary.
The island.
When I say the island, I mean Vancouver Island. Sorry, we locally colloquially refer to it as the island.
Ah.
All right, so
on a separate and completely unrelated topic, briefly. Hey, Elihu, how come I didn't get an invite to Friday? I mean, I couldn't have made it, but even so, I appreciate the invite.
Oh, sorry. I was just like, we got 7 people. We don't want to have it even 8. Otherwise, we'll go to the chat. I'm like, I agree. 7 is like the max we try to do.
Yeah. No, if you already had a bunch of people, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was busy anyway, but yeah, I'm still like.
I was not anticipating Brian to show up.
It was happening, but I said, I actually turned out I had a bunch of shit I had to do, so I couldn't make it. But
yeah, I didn't know Brian was going to show up. I'm like, oh, okay, so don't need Dandelion fill-ins. I didn't put you in this intro song.
Oh, I'll have to go back and listen to that part.
Okay.
Like I said, I completely missed it, but sorry, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah,
I know.
we had
here's what I kind of wish MB was still here for, because I really don't understand this one. Signed by President Obama, an establishment of the White House Office of Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnerships. So there was Obama established an office within the White House to work with faith-based organizations and neighborhood organizations to provide them with, counsel and money to basically promote religion and, small neighborhoods. And apparently that is bad, and Trump got rid of it. Sorry. I apologize. It will be gotten rid of on February 14th.
Oh, the Day of Love. Wow.
So yeah, literally the day. Thank you for pointing that out, Elihu. On the Day of Love, he's getting rid of a council that is promoting faith-based organizations.
Wow.
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of like, should government be involved with anything religious? Probably not. But
no. Period.
No, but I think it's funny that
All right, just a second. I got to go take the lid off my loaf of bread that I'm baking. I got it in like a baking thingy.
Oh, you're rising dough?
Okay, there's no link for the next one, but I don't understand it. It just says he's revoking the Trump administration is revoking the revocation of certain presidential actions. So they're revoking the revocation. Sorry. So I don't. There's no list of what those are. There's no link on that one. It doesn't say who signed it.
Well, I think some of it's probably just being like spiteful, getting rid of everything that anyone else has ever done.
Yeah, basically whatever Biden rejected that Trump did, he's going to reject that signature.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, some of these are concerning policies that have been in effect in this country for over 60 years. So just remember that.
No, absolutely.
The executive order, again, it doesn't say who signed this one, promoting access to voting. He got rid of that one. I wonder why he doesn't want access for voters. Revoking the establishment, the original order was the establishment of the White House Gender Policy Council. This is the revocation of that order. So they're getting rid of the, Council of Gender Policies. Again, I wonder why. This one was signed by Biden. The original order was guaranteeing the educational environment free from discrimination on the basis of sex, sexual orientation and gender identity. So he wanted to get rid of those protections for children.
That means if you are in high school and you identify as gay, you better shut your fucking mouth. Otherwise, you can get in trouble. I'm sorry.
Well, right.
I had to put it that way.
It also says discrimination on the basis of sex. So
yeah,
I want you to imagine, literally being kicked out of a school because you're a woman. Or you could be kicked out for being a man. Who cares? I mean,
or you can be second place, or you can be validated up in highest grade and be led valedictorian, but the principal says, no, let that boy do it.
All right. The termination of emergencies with respect to the International Criminal Court. I wonder why he doesn't want to deal with the International Criminal Court. I wonder why. And that one will go into effect. Oh God, Elihu, you're going to get a kick out of this one. That one is supposed to go in effect on April 1st.
Well, that's got to be some joke.
They all go into effect on April 1st.
Not all of them.
No. I mean,
the joke was,
yeah.
Okay. The next one. Revoking the establishment of the Presidential Commission on the Supreme Court of the United States. In other words, these were trying to explain it. This was to make sure that the Supreme Court doesn't do anything illegal or stupid. So he literally wants to allow the Supreme Court to once again do things that are illegal and stupid.
Like what Clarence Thomas has been doing.
I think they would probably just do that anyway, but
All right. Again, there's another one about revoking certain presidential actions that are being revoked again. So it's another revocation of revocations. Getting rid of, the next order is getting rid of the Climate Change Support Office, of course. Getting rid of the Climate Related Financial Risk Office. So again, anything having to do with climate change, they're getting rid of. Okay. He's revoking equity, justice, and opportunities for Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders. Again, I wonder why. Most of those are brown people.
You know how hard the natives had a chance. You know how silenced the Native Hawaiians have been since like 90 something. They weren't even allowed to do a hula, which is telling their story in their own language. Yeah. They have been significantly reduced. The population of Native Hawaiians is less than 1% of all of the islands now.
But again, this is Native Hawaiians fall under the Native American and Native or indigenous groups things. So again, it's stuff to harm literal Native Americans and indigenous, which is something which again affects my daughter. Well, granted, she's not an Asian American or Pacific Islander, but yeah.
I mean, he didn't even seem to know what he was signing half the time. He was like, "What's this one?" I don't know. Like he just didn't.
All right. Getting rid of the diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility in the federal workforce. Of course, he was getting rid of all the DEI stuff, so that's no surprise.
And now we have a DUI hire.
Sorry, Mrs. Vile, if you're still listening, can I get some more coffee, please? Thank you. I love you, babe.
Like, no, I'm going to miss this.
You sounded like Trump when you said that. I love you, babe. I love you. You sound like Trump. I'm sorry. Just when you said that,
it was. Sorry,
it's because I'm treating her like a waitress, and she's not just a waitress. She's the love of my life. So I want to make sure she understands that I'm not doing it to be mean.
You're the love of my life. You're my big love. Everybody knows I love you.
The biggest love.
Sorry, I just the biggest love
with the biggest hat.
All right. I want to get past this one real quick because I want to go to the next one.
Okay.
Executive Order, 14037, getting rid of the partnership to strengthen American leadership in clean cars and trucks. So in other words, this is a climate-related one to promote, clean air vehicles.
Smog regulations are going to go down. It's
Yeah.
going to be LA in the 90s all over again. Fuck.
So, but the reason I want it,
You have state level legislations, though, right?
yeah, but if they're not in accordance to federal law, state laws don't have to be enforced.
Dandelion, I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona. When LA finally did the regulation of smog, that's the first time I ever knew that LA was surrounded by mountains. I'm like, wow, really?
Well,
Yeah,
I
you can actually see
remember hearing
mountains from
about
LA.
smog.
I'm like, wow.
LA smog. I remember hearing about that. That was like,
Yeah,
even in movies you could see it, right? I
Yeah.
wonder if that was part of the reason why they stopped filming in LA, or in that part of California, is because it just always looked so gross.
Yeah, now on a clear day, you can see the mountains. I'm like, wow.
Okay, the reason I wanted to skip that one primarily, though, is because of the next one. This is, now remember, both of these were signed on the same day. Executive Order 14044 is amending his own Executive Order 14007. That's all it says. Now, I'm going to go back because we talked about that one. The 14007 is getting rid of the President's Council on Advisors of Science and Technology. So the amendment to the order getting rid of that is basically the creation of the Elon Musk thing.
What Doge?
So he's getting rid of the original council, and that's what this order is the one that's creating for Elon Musk's little task force. So he's not going to listen to smart people anymore. He's going to listen to Elon Musk.
Well, people who pay him money is, who he generally listens to.
Rescinding the order for the initiative on advancing educational equity, excellence, economic opportunity for Hispanics.
Did you see?
I wonder why he's specifically getting rid of the one for Hispanics.
What's that, Lion?
You treat her like a servant because she's brown?
I am not doing that, babe, and you know that.
Outrageous. Outrageous.
It's not brown. Mocha. Chocolate. He loves chocolate, remember?
Oh, one of the jokes that we were making yesterday when we went out to lunch with some of her friends was I'm going to have to start putting on more sunscreen because I tan, and when I tan, I turn a darker brown than Mrs. Vile.
Out if I'm out of the sun, I look like a Caucasian. If I'm in the sun, I look Puerto Rican or sometimes a Native American. But if I'm out of the sun, I look Caucasian.
I either look like a ghost or a lobster. That's my.
I'm Puerto Rican, but sometimes I look white. Sometimes I look Hispanic. Hey.
Okay. The next, actually, I need to go back a little bit because the next three were all related.
Okay.
He got rid of as I said, the White House initiative on advancing educational opportunities for Hispanics, right?
Okay.
He's also getting rid of the one for tribal colleges and Native Americans, and the one for Black Americans. Those three specifically. So he's literally trying to get rid of educational opportunities for Hispanics, Natives, and Blacks. Why those three groups? If you voted for Trump and you're trying to say he is not a fucking bigot, that should be.
I'm sure
reading those three right there should be all you need to hear.
Everybody should be treated the same. Blah blah blah. I'm sure that will be their rationale, but
I'm sure it is. But when you're specifically and again, NB, remember when he tried to argue that the Native American thing was not really what he was trying to do. That's exactly what he's trying to do. He's literally targeting Native Americans.
Yeah,
it says so in legislation.
God, we've been going for almost 2 hours, and we're not even a quarter through.
I was going to say, I would have just and chosen
I don't mind.
To cover each week.
I don't mind. I want to make another pot of coffee, so I got to hit mute.
Yeah, I just put my kettle back on. So, but
now I will say this: that the three orders that I just mentioned, they're not technically rescinded until September 13th, October 11th, and October 19th. So they will obviously be challenged in the courts eventually, but these were signed, but they don't go into effect yet. I do want to point that out. Because some of these, they just because he signed them doesn't mean they go into effect, as the day he signed them.
Okay.
All right. The next one, after the three racist ones, getting rid of the implementation of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. So he wants to stop the Jobs Act. Biden's Jobs Act, the one that's supposed to help everybody get a fucking job.
That Jobs Act actually helped people on SSI who's actually able to do part-time work get back to work and not lose any benefits.
Are you okay?
Just
Sorry,
saying. I'm just saying. I can actually go back to work, but what Trump did, that screwed over a lot of people on SSI who's trying to get back to work. Because if they do, now they have a chance of losing some of their benefits.
All right, the next one to be revoked is the non-displacement of qualified workers under service contracts. Basically, your job can't force you to move in order to keep your job. Which I think this is the first one that I actually agree with.
I agree with that one.
Yeah, we found NB. If you're still listening, we found one we agree with.
Wow, I actually 100% agree on that one. It does not affect me, but I'm like, yeah.
Hold on. I want to click. Okay, this order was actually being one rescinded that was signed by Bush II. So, NB, we found one we agree with. We've gone through how many so far? And we found one we agree with.
I lost count.
All right, I'm going to have to mute for a bit. My kettle's getting noisy.
No worries. All right, the next executive order that was rescinded is the catalyzation of clean energy industries and jobs through federal sustainability. These are endowments and grants to give to and subsidies to clean energy companies who, in order to make sure they can hire enough people to do the jobs.
Like solar panel companies?
Yes. Solar power companies, solar, wind, hydroelectric, that stuff. So apparently, investing in those types of jobs is bad. So at least another one that's against jobs.
And environment.
All right, another one apparently that is bad. Getting rid of the task force establishing the United States Council on Transnational Organized Crime.
But don't Republicans keep on claiming that trans people commit a lot of crimes? Why do you get rid of that?
Funny.
Wow.
Very funny.
He probably does transnational crime, so he's just trying to get rid of laws that would affect him and his friends.
Yeah. All right. The next one, advancing economic efficiency and effectiveness in federal contracting by promoting pay equity and transparency. So there's no comma between pay and equity. So it's just basically trying to say that people who are working for companies that are contracted by the United States government should have pay not having anything to do with their sexual orientation, gender, ethnicity, any of that kind of stuff.
Equal pay across the board, and then it gets hired.
Yeah, but for only federal contract workers. So apparently, paying federal contract workers a decent rate, not based on their race, religion, sexual identity, sex, anything like that. That's bad. So he's getting rid of that. Another one signed by Biden to strengthen Americans' access to the Affordable Health Care Act. So again, Affordable Health Care Act, bad.
He's had a plan and a concept of a plan since 2016.
He just seems like such a petty little whiner. And it
All
seems like
right,
he's
so-
been doing too much work lately because his dementia was starting to show by the end of the week.
Yeah. All right. The next one, advancing effective accountability policing and criminal justice practices to enhance public trust and safety. Basically, again, these are these were things trying to say that you can't just arrest someone for being black. You can't just arrest someone for being a man. You can't just arrest someone for being a woman or gay or something like that. It was, again, that kind of stuff. So you can understand why he's wanting to get rid of that.
So Stonewall and Compton all over again?
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Advancing equity for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex individuals. I wonder why that's being gotten rid of. He's revoking the implementation of the Energy Infrastructure Provisions and Inflation Reduction Act. So literally, the thing that's trying to induce the inflation, he wants to get rid of. Fortunately, that one isn't supposed to go into effect until September 12th, 2022. So that one's not even. That one's a year and a half away from going in order.
2022?
Yeah. So
this is 2025. Did you go to a time machine?
Holy fuck! Yeah, maybe I did.
Are you predicting the future, man? Fuck.
So yeah, apparently he wants to get rid of the Inflation Reduction Act.
Well, don't they suspect that he used ChatGPT? Not him, obviously, but that they used ChatGPT to like write most of these, so the dates could be off based on that.
That too, yeah. All right, executive order to get Sorry, the original order was promoting the arts and humanities and museums and library services. He wants to get rid of that one.
Wow, culture. Limit culture now. Thank you. I wonder what's going to happen to the Smithsonian endowment in D.C. because of that.
Thank you, babe.
Because the Smithsonian
brought me coffee again.
Okay, because the Smithsonian takes 0 penny from the federal government. I'm like, how are they going to help
other
this?
library? Sorry. But you want to know what does accept money from the government to function? Presidential libraries.
Oh, that's right. Oh, wait. He'll try to sell a meme coin again to raise money for that, and idiots will pay.
So basically, he wants to make sure all the other presidential libraries don't get their funding anymore.
Oh my gosh!
You're talking about petty, Dandelion? He really doesn't want any other president to be remembered other than him. He wants to be seen as the greatest president ever.
Well, that's not going to happen, but
no.
I mean, you can rewrite history, but there's only so much history you can rewrite.
Yeah, look at
here's
the big they tried to get rid of him, and he's the most famous pharaoh there is.
This is the big one. He's revoking President Biden's order lowering prescription drug costs for Americans. He wants to get rid of that one, or he already signed the order to get rid of it. It just won't go into effect yet.
Yeah, the $30 cap on insulin is going to be raised to about $300. That's what analysts are predicting.
So I wonder who's this going to hurt the most? Is it going to be the rich or the poor who have this against them?
I don't really want to be on screen, but I really want to show you guys this loaf I just baked. Look at that loaf.
Ooh,
isn't that a beauty?
You have the
Hold on, I got to check windows.
You have up gloves. I love those things.
Oh man, yeah. I love well, I've started making sourdough again because it's just too much fun to not make it.
Oh yeah, Mrs. Vile did send me. I didn't attach this to the the links in the description, but yes, there are Puerto Ricans being arrested by ICE.
Yeah,
for not being American citizens.
I heard about that. Yeah, I had to laugh. I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay, I'll be right back. I just got to go run a quick tea-related errand.
And
Tea-related errand?
I know you just left the Daily Lion, but yeah, your thing in the chat is absolutely true.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to do one more before I end the stream because I can't. Let's not talk about this too much more. We'll talk about it again next week. Because yes, there's no reason not to keep going on this because as I said, we're not even halfway through just the rescinded stuff. But yeah, the prescription drug costs is very important, especially to people like me who have prescription drugs.
Instead of paying
Granted,
$3
I
for a
don't
pill,
buy
you
my
pay
drugs through my
$19
prescription.
for
I
a
buy them in
pill.
Mexico, but still.
Yeah. I mean, instead of paying $3 a pill, you're going to pay $19 a pill.
And the last one we'll talk about, because, well, yeah. The last one we're going to talk about is establishing the President's Advisory Council on African Dysphoria Engagement in the United States.
African dysphoria? What is that?
I'm sorry, diaspora. I mispronounced it. Diaspora.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what is that? Okay, what exactly is that anyway?
Well, they don't have a link, so I'm looking it up real quick.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'm like searching it right now. You got a Google Mobile?
All right, it is the dispersion or spread of people from the original homeland.
Okay, so it's discriminating anybody from Africa to coming to America?
It doesn't say that yet. I don't. I would have. There's no link on that one.
It's not like it just boycotted the whole entire continent of Africa. She said slave trade.
I don't know if it has.
Slaves trade. But most of the slaves, people who are enslaved currently, who have black skin, are not from Africa. They're from the Caribbean islands. But didn't his new attorney general advise him of stuff that he can legally and legally not do? Isn't that his job? Sheesh. We got the president not doing his job. We got the attorney general not doing his job.
Great.
So yeah,
we got foreign aid being cut off to Ukraine, but not Israel.
All right, so I will say that we are about halfway through the rescinded orders. We're not going again. This is just the ones that have been rescinded. This is not even the rest of the orders regarding everything else.
Oy.
It was a lot of stuff.
And this is only week 1.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, at least they're just executive orders, so they're not like actual laws. Like they're not unless Congress passes legislation, right? I mean, obviously they go into effect, but they can be undone again later.
An executive order. Let's see. I think Congress can override an executive order.
Yes.
I think they can.
Well, I mean, I think any branch can, because I mean, again, it goes to the courts, and if the courts say this is unconstitutional, then it cannot be enforced or it cannot be enacted. Like you'd have to change the Constitution itself. So,
see, Congress cannot directly overturn an executive order, but if passed legislation that makes it difficult to implement.
Yeah.
Additionally, a president can revoke or modify an executive order issued by a predecessor. So basically, no, they can't override an executive order.
No, but again,
probably why
when a new president comes in, they can rescind any orders.
So that's what these all are. These are all rescinded orders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, about 2/5 of the things he signed were rescinding previous presidential orders.
Yeah.
And once sorry, I know you haven't gotten this yet, but once a pardon is issued, it cannot be revoked or rejected again legally.
Well,
It's issued, period.
LDG, you still there?
Yep. Yeah.
I scrolled down a little bit. I wonder if this is one that you might like. He rescinded the order for safe, secure, and trustworthy development and use of artificial intelligence.
Okay. That's interesting. Good luck stopping me.
But remember, he's rescinding that order. So basically, he's okay with unsafe, unsecure, untrustworthy development and use of artificial intelligence.
And
Okay,
who
good.
were the tech billionaires in attendance that paid him at least a few $1 million for to be there? Think about that.
Who gets to decide what's safe, though? That's the problem.
Nobody now.
For safe development.
That's
nobody. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Nobody now.
We can talk. We'll go through that one. We'll go through that one later. But when I saw that, I'm like, that's right up your alley, man.
Oh, it is.
All right, gents. I think I'm going to let you guys go because I need to do day stuff, and it's already 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. But yeah, this is just part 1. So if you don't like this episode,
it's gonna be a good.
I don't blame you because I don't like it either.
Yeah. Well, it's important because a lot of people won't bother going through all of them. So.
I know. I absolutely know that.
How about some blue sky?
Thanks for having me, Val. It's always fun, man. Glad I could pop in. And
I'm sorry this is such a shitty episode, guys. But
yeah, how about some blue sky?
I was gonna say, how about some sunshine?
Mm-hmm. Actually, have sunshine again today. I think we're getting.
Or you know what?
Week though.
Fuck it, Elihu. Let's do both because I think we need some sunshine and some blue skies.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
And now we'll do blue skies.
Never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by. When you're in love, my how they fly. Oh, blue skies smiling at me. Irving Berlin. Nothing but blue skies do I see.
All right, I'm not going to do one of the ones
Finish it with Gundam style.
Kids.
Come on.
Okay,
sorry, what?
Gundam style, I might be out.
Every time you do that one, I expect to see Gundam
All right,
style.
catch you guys later. Bye.
Sorry, I missed that. What did you say, LDG?
I said every time I see that opening, I'm just waiting to hear do 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 Klingon style. Do, do, do. God damn it.
All right, later, folks.
Later.